Are you confused about what type of acne you have? Today, I'm going to share the 6 signs that your acne is hormonal, plus action steps you could take to start to heal your acne naturally. Hi there, my name is Therese, and after 15 years of struggling with really bad acne, I finally cleared my skin naturally with food, nutrition, and diet changes, and I've made it my life's work to get you clear skin without harsh chemicals, pills, and/or creams. So if you'd like to learn more about how to apply to my natural acne clearing program, The Clear Code, click the link below and make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video. I'm just gonna jump right into it because it's fun. There are 6 general ways you can know that your acne is hormonal as opposed to perhaps blood sugar related, gut health, and I will say that blood sugar and hormones are linked, but we'll get into that in a second. The first way to know that your acne is hormonal is that your breakouts come during specific periods of your cycle, okay? So you either break out mid-cycle, you break out pre-period, maybe you even break out on your period. Like, knowing exactly when you're breaking out in your cycle is really key to understanding, number 1, whether or not you have hormonal acne, but also number 2, which hormone is the issue. Because usually I see that it's a problem for clients, especially my program. They either are dealing with estrogen dominance, they're dealing with low progesterone, or they're dealing with high testosterone. And knowing when you're breaking out during your cycle is going to be key to understanding those. And the way to do that is by making sure you're tracking your cycle. So use an app, use your notepad, use something that tells you when you're getting your period, when you're ovulating. Start to do some research about what parts of your cycle tell you certain things so that you can say, oh, okay, I'm breaking out when I ovulate, or I don't break out when I ovulate. Actually, I break out right on my period, which is a little different than kind of the typical breakouts as they relate to hormonal acne. But knowing when you break out in your cycle is key, and tracking your cycle is going to help you understand that. The second way you can tell that you have hormonal acne is that you had really clear skin on the pill and now it's completely broken out 3 to 6 to 9 to 12 months after taking the pill, and it's never gotten clear again. When you go on the pill, you're taking synthetic estrogens, progestins, and you're most likely tamping down, like lowering your levels of testosterone, so sex hormones, which can sometimes increase sebum levels at the pore, which can make you break out. So when you go off the pill and you have an increase in androgen, so an increase in testosterone, for example, you'll start to break out. And that's, I mean, I'd say it happens to like 80% of my clients, but it's definitely a telltale sign that your acne is related to kind of hormonal fluctuations, hormonal shifts, and addressing those can be key. Now, like I mentioned, there are kind of 3 categories you're probably gonna fit into if you're dealing with hormonal acne. You're gonna have estrogen dominance, low progesterone, and/or high testosterone. If you come off the pill and you start breaking out again, and your cycles are normal, I would say you're most likely dealing with a mix of kind of estrogen dominance and high testosterone. When you're dealing with estrogen dominance, action steps that you can take that will really help things are to grab cruciferous vegetables, maybe a cup or 2 every day. They help liver detoxification. Grab something like dandelion tea. That can be really helpful as well from a liver detoxification perspective. Spearmint tea has been shown to positively impact testosterone levels, aka lower them, if you drink 2 cups a day. So those 2 things are mostly what I see with my clients in my acne program, The Clear Code. And again, if you're interested in learning more, click the link below. But knowing which hormone is the challenge based on where you are in your cycle is key. If you have acne, mostly here, okay? I'm looking at my face and nothing. Mostly here, it is probably linked to your hormones because this area has a ton of hair growth, right? This is like where where men grow beards, where we have a ton of like hair follicles, and that's where acne grows. It grows at like the pilosebaceous gland, like at the pore level. So notice you don't have a ton of acne here, right? We don't have like a ton of acne here because like the pores and they're different. That being said, these areas of your face are super sensitive to hormonal fluctuations and sebum fluctuations. And so by that I mean, when you're dealing with fluctuating levels of hormones, right? You're most likely going to see an increase in testosterone, probably. Okay, I'm speaking very broadly, but just you're picking up what I'm putting down. The more your hormones fluctuate, the more sebum you have at the pore. And when you have more sebum at the pore, you're more likely to experience breakouts. The 4 conditions you need at the pore to break out are too many skin cells at your pore, too much oil at the pore, skin cells aren't sloughing off, and then P. acnes gets in. But you need that sebum. And so because these areas are so sensitive to hormonal fluctuations, aka fluctuations in sebum, when you're dealing with hormonal acne, you're mostly gonna see it like right here. The 4th way you'll know you're dealing with hormonal acne is kind of sneaky and subtle, but I find it super telling, and that's that you have really bad PMS. So by bad PMS, I mean the gamut, okay? You have bad mood swings, things are a little sore, maybe like you feel a little puffy, like some weight gain right before you get your period. What else is like a really common sign? Maybe you're like a little constipated. That's a common sign too. If you experience, like if you realize, for me, it's always a mood thing, right? Like I can tell, oh my, I can tell I'm off my clear code when my PMS and my moods are like real bad. And so keeping that in mind, knowing, like I can always tell, like I just mentioned, how bad the month was, how off my clear code I was the month prior by how bad my PMS is and how bad I feel on the first day of my period. If I feel kind of like, if my period comes and I'm just like, meh, then it's fine. But if my period comes and I'm like, then I know that I messed up the month before. 5th way you can tell that your acne is hormonal is that it's different, like it has different types. And by that I mean, there is a specific type of acne that's here, often seen here, that's fungal in nature. It's called Malassezia folliculitis, and it's just an overgrowth of a yeast. It's like it's a fungal growth. And when you're dealing with acne like that, a lot of the breakouts will be really uniform. So they'll look alike. They'll be like the same exact size and type, and there will be a ton of them. Whereas when you're dealing with cystic acne, hormonal cystic acne, it is much more varied in shape and size and pain. Things won't be uniform, and they'll be cyclical in nature, right? When you're dealing with fungal acne, for example, you just have like straight, it's just always there, and it actually just progressively gets worse. It doesn't really get better. The 6th way you can tell that your acne is hormonal and not like topically related or fungal, for example, is that when you're consuming a really high glycemic diet, your skin gets way worse. And so that's the blood sugar connection that I mentioned earlier. Basically, the more glucose you have in your system, so the more sugar you eat, right? The more insulin you have in your body. Basically, think of insulin and glucose like this. Your glucose rises and your insulin comes in to kind of save the day from your pancreas. Doesn't want your blood sugar to get too high. So it lowers things, which is good. That being said, over time, you don't want too much insulin running around in your body all the time, because you will, number 1, experience insulin resistance, but then number 2, you're also going to experience an increase in insulin growth factor 1. Insulin growth factor 1 is going to encourage skin cell growth at the pore, and it's going to make your acne worse over time. So basically, you'll notice, and again, I feel like in some ways all acne is like kind of hormonal, so this is a little misleading, but I feel like this is going to be helpful for you overall. If and when you go on a lower glycemic diet and you see your skin shift really quickly, like within 10 to 14 days, you know that some of the stuff that was happening for you was blood sugar, hormones, insulin related. And again, even though it's frustrating to be like, oh, it's also really informative for you, right? Now, I know a common question for you is, okay, I think my acne is hormonal. I think it's cyclical, but I don't know how to address it. I would love to see if I could help you. So I have a natural acne clearing program called the Clear Code. In the Clear Code, we track everything that I just mentioned. We track your cycle, your digestion, what you're eating, how your topicals are, any supplements that you're using, how many days, where you are in terms of ovulation, all the things. Because when you track even though it can be kind of like jarring to look at some of the information and be like, whoa, I didn't know that these things impacted my skin so much. It's so empowering because once you know, you can take action. So if you're interested in learning more about how to heal your acne naturally with me, apply to my natural acne clearing program, the Clear Code, via the link below. And again, a lot of my clients know that they have hormonal acne and have tried to address it and fix it on their own. And they're kind of just at the point where they're like, I don't know what else to do. And if that is you, I would love to see if I could help you. Also, we have a private Facebook group where I would love to welcome you, and you can join other people dealing with acne challenges just like you. So find the link below for that as well and join us there, and we'd love to welcome you. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell to be notified when I post a new one. And if you know someone, or if this is you, or if you know someone who's like, I really believe that there is a deeper root issue happening for me and my skin, but I just don't know how to fix it. I just don't know how to address it. And or like, am I going crazy? I think something's happening from an acne perspective. Please send them this video. I would love to be this like spark in their brain that helps them understand and confirms their intuition that there is a deeper root issue for them in their acne, and you can absolutely adjust it with food and nutrition. See you next time.